Hey everyone, today we're going to do another Google drawing assignment, and this assignment is going to be digital weaving. Now, the first thing you're going to do is open up your Google Drawings, and you're going to get this. And at the top, remember that we always title our stuff, but I'm just going to call this one Digital Weaving, and I'm going to write example. Okay. And what I would like for you guys to do is make sure you put your name on it just so that we can find it. So the first thing you're going to do with your digital weaving is you're going to find a picture for your background. I like to search the web. Let's look up flowers. Find a nice flower. Ooh, this one's really nice. What else? I'm liking the daisies. So I'm going to insert the daisies. And just like before, when you're going to get your canvas to fit your picture, you don't want to see any of this checkerboard canvas underneath. You click on the canvas itself, you're going to get this little corner that you can drag up and line it right up with your picture. And then that's your canvas is fit to your picture now. So that was the easy part. Here's the interesting part that you need to really pay attention in order to do this. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get the shape tools, and you're going to get a square that we're going to turn into a rectangle. So I'm just going to click on here because then the square will pop up. And I want my square to be about this big. Now, as you can see, this isn't going to work. Okay, we need this to be transparent. So you're going to go and you're going to click on your little fill color, and you're going to hit gradient. And you're going to go all the way down to custom. And you're going to get this right here. So let's do that again. So we're going to hit our fill color. We're going to go to gradient, which is all this stuff. And then we're going down to custom. So the first thing we want to do is we want to fix this thing so that way it is black. We want it to be black on both ends. So we're going to click on this little piece right here, and we're going to make it black because we want our little weaving to look like it has shadows on both ends. But this doesn't work for us right in here, right? So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to hit add gradient, and you're going to add 3 dots through here, okay? And we're going to rotate this one here. We're going to rotate this one here, and we're going to rotate this one here. Kind of like a little bit more even would be nice. There we go. All right, so each one of these little dots, when they're selected, are right here. So we're going to click on this part, and we're going to hit transparent. So now we have this is what we're going to see when we see it. We're going to do this one. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to hit transparent. And then again on this little dot, we're going to click on our color piece and we're going to turn it transparent. So now we have this big transparent area where we're going to see our image underneath, and it's going to have some nice value scale to show that it's rounded, so it's not flat anymore. Now here's the next piece that we really need to do that's very important. Right underneath the angle, you need to turn it to 180 degrees. Okay, so now it's going to look like ribbon or paper that's being weaved between each other. So this is the area that's darker. Okay, so once you have all of this set up exactly like this, we have 3 transparent dots with black on both ends. This is changed to a 180 degree angle. We're going to hit OK. See how that changed this piece right here? Now it's already, it's ready to start. So here's another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So once you have your little rectangle selected, I want you to hit Control and D. It's going to duplicate your ribbon or your pieces. And what's going to happen after that is that you're going to turn this to a 90-degree angle, and it's going to get placed right here. Now I want to line these up so that way they're together. So notice that when I click on this piece, I get that red line. That's showing me that that's centered. I can hit Control D again because this piece was selected, and I can drag it right over here. So I have this piece that looks like it is being weaved over and under. When I select the piece that is vertical, I hit Control D and I have another duplicate of this one. All right, so I'm doing my example very like my pieces are bigger, but when you go to do your project, I want them to be a lot smaller. But just right now, while we're getting like the hang of all of this, let's see here. I'm gonna line this up so that way my two little square pieces on the sides look kind of even. And I'm gonna hit Control D again. And I'm going to just do this one right now as well because that's just a little bit easier. And I'm gonna come back here and select this one, my horizontal one, and I'm gonna hit Control D. And I'm going to put it right in here. Now notice this piece didn't fit all the way. Well, that's fine because I can pull it and then it looks nice. So then I'm gonna hit Control D. Oop, see, sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. All right, so now I'm gonna make sure that your piece is selected, hit Control D and move this one on over, and I'm gonna line it right up. And it's okay that this goes off the side a little bit. We can always go back at the end if you want and just touch them up, or you can just do it right now. So there's that piece. And this is looking, oh, I don't know. Let's just, there we go. Now it's not overlapping it too much. So we have this piece. Now I'm going to select this piece again, hit Control D, so for duplicate, and I'm going to put this right down here. Notice how my red line is showing up and everything is lining up. I'm going to check one of my vertical ones and I'm going to bring this straight down. I want it to all be lined up. So I am really using these little red lines that are guides. And I'm going to bring this right over. I'm going to touch up my edges really quick. And I'll tell you what, this is so much easier with a mouse than it is with my finger. All right, and I'm going to select this one because this one's a little bit shorter, and I'm going to hit Control D for duplicate. I'm going to bring this one right in here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Now this one, even though I only need a little tiny piece of it, I'm still going to make sure that I got the whole thing. Because I'll still have these nice lines that are showing up for everything. Okay, and then of course, we are going to go right over here. Yeah, it's pretty close. Okay, so let's go back up and see if we've missed any little spots. We have. So of course I've got this one. So I'm going to go straight up over here. Just touch up this side. There we go. Now we're all lined up. And this is how you guys create a nice digital weaving picture. So we're not totally done. A lot of control and duplicating when you're doing this. Okay, so I would say that this is pretty much set. Let me look at it. Let's take one last look right now. So this is our, for the most part, it's completed as far as the weaving. So the very last piece that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come back in here and you're going to have to fill it with little black squares because they go fit this the best I can. The good thing is that we have all these like little guidelines that keep popping up. And of course, we're going to fill it with black because this little square is going to make it look like your image is actually weaved over it. Now, some of these squares probably won't fit inside. So for example, this one doesn't fit in here because for some crazy reason. But you can always like shrink them down. Since this one and this one seem to be of the same spot. So you notice how like I am using my control duplicate button for pretty much this entire thing. Other projects we've used the polyline for almost the entire thing and it's driven you guys crazy. This is a lot easier. All right, so make sure you're using your guidelines. And if you notice that like you have a square that's just not totally fitting in, you can go back in and touch it up. The more you touch it up, the nicer you make it look. This is art. Remember, presentation is everything. Okay, so for the most part, I'm not going to totally go through and like touch up every little piece at this point because this one doesn't seem to want to fit just right. You know, it's too big. There. All right, so by putting in those little black squares, we have this nice, beautiful, weaved looking image. On this other one that I've done, it's a lot smaller and different. So anyways, when you go to do your project, I want yours to be like half of this size and half of this size. So that way you can see that you'll get more of your picture in it. So this is it. This is digital weaving.